was born in 1942. I am an only child, but my parents realized I needed some more people in my life. And my mother also wanted me to be a part of my family in Ireland. So definitely I have a rooted family over in Ireland. So I was very fortunate to have grown up in the West Bronx, and I went to St. John's, as they always called it, St. John's in Kingsbridge.
And Ellen, what made you decide to enter religious life?
Well, I pondered over that, and I could say, oh, it happened in the 5th grade, no, it happened in high school, but it really happens when I was a little kid, believe it or not. I received my first Holy Communion, and the year after that was the Holy Year. I made a promise. I was going to go to Mass every day, and I did. Well, many years passed, and the Marian year came. And when the Marian year came, I decided to do the same thing every day. And then when I went to high school, I went to St. Martin's Church, which was across the street from Aquinas, and I continued to go to Mass. But somehow or another, that Mass just kind of continued. And I continued to go, but like all teenagers.
It's beautiful, yeah.
Like all teenagers, what did we do after Mass? And to get into school on time, we ran down to the candy store to get our A-cream. That kind of got us going for the day. But I would say where my vocation started to take a little shape was I met Sister Miriam Joseph. And to lo and behold, here I am today. So what really happened, my first 20 years, I was on the mission list all the time. They needed a math teacher, so I kept on getting changed. Then finally, the community offered us personal option. And my health was changing, so I knew I was going to move out of education. And I said to myself, I want to be involved spiritually. And as it turned out, there was an opening as a pastoral associate in a parish up in Ulster County. And he said, but I know a group of sisters. And this group of sisters live right near here. They know me. I know them. I would recommend them. Well, they were none other than the 4 sisters who were staffing St. Joseph Villa in Saugerties. So I went to call. Margaret was, I guess you might say, the administrator. And she said, I know all about you. I said, you do? And I said, oh, that pastor. But in a nice way, she said, we heard all about you. Would you want to come over and talk with us? We'd love to have you. I said, yes, I would. So I went over and I met Sister Margaret Edmond, Sister Loretta Blaze, Sister Ann Magdalene, Sister Joan Hearns. I fell in love with them when I met them because they just all hugged me and welcomed me. And I said, I need a place to live. Well, of course. But I said, it's not just to live. I don't want to hang my hat here, come for a meal once in a while. I want to be a part of your community. So then they went on to tell me what they do. No matter how tired they were, no matter what they were doing, office and praying together was very important. They met in the morning, they met in the evening, with rosary in the evening. And they said, Ellen, you come whenever you can. I said, okay. And, we try for, our supper meal, to be together, whether we're having a group or whatever. I said, that's great. But, we do go to Mass. I know you're working in a parish, but we do go to Mass down in Villa St. Dominic. So you're welcome to come with us, depending on your schedule. I said, I would love to. When they introduced me to the priest, I was thinking about, his name was Father Caher. I was touched by his Mass every day. He said a very quick Mass, but he always stopped just before communion. And he said, may I receive these gifts with purity of heart, and they give me healing of mind, body, and spirit. that always stayed with me. Somehow or another, they were telling me or showing me how special prayer was, how important prayer was. I saw their faith. And I saw a community that lived together, enjoyed one another together, so no wonder they could get out and smile with everybody. I was seeing a group of people that were caring for one another, and I think they, in caring for one another, they lived that community, so they were able to go out to minister to the groups that came in. And I think before we as a community ever put pen to paper, they were living out our mission statement. We are joyous women, rooted in prayer and compassion, proclaiming the reign of God through a ministry of justice and care of the earth.
How would you say, Ellen, though, that experience, but essentially those sisters are still influencing or still inspirational in your life?
Well, I think when I went there, when I lived on mission prior to that, it was all set. You would go to prayers at this time, you would eat at this time, you would recreate at this time. And I think because we were all in ministry, our lives it just seemed very, very structured. Whereas going up there, my life was very unstructured in the ministry I was in, because each day was very different. Being a pastoral associate, ministering to so many different people in so many different ways. But it all kept bringing me back to prayer. I prayed on the missions, and many a time I was told not to sing because somehow or another I was throwing the whole chorus off, and please. So in a way, I could have almost felt, gee, I can't go on with this. But I never felt that, because these sisters, no matter what I did or how I said it, it was coming from the heart, and they prayed from the heart. And I think that's, prayer became that vocal. But it also, life was beautiful, no matter what was happening. They could have 100 people there, and they dealt with all of that, and they dealt with it with a smile, so I guess they were teaching me in so many different ways, God is going to get us through all this.